Alright, Shalom. This is Canucks on Bunya Sha'ala from the GMS Lions Den camp. I want to give all glory and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, and salutations to the Archean that are pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and in truth. Alright, this topic is going to be more like a rant. I don't have a lot of scripture. I lied, I do got a lot of scriptures, but the topic is about like taking on friendly fire or kicking against the pricks. This is something I've been noticing throughout watching different camps go out and watching different brothers do sit down lessons, and through even I've noticed a little bit in our camp how people try to rise themselves up over their other brothers, and I'm like, what is the purpose of that when y'all are fighting the same battle? Alright, well, who cares if you're a general or the other one's just a private? But we're all in this thing together for the same common cause, for the same goal. For whether you come in at the first hour or the last, we get the same reward. Alright? So that being said, I just want to talk about it a little bit and, bring some scriptures out about it, because it's enough that we have to go through what we have to go through as being in this truth. And then when you take shots and blows from somebody that's supposed to be walking the walk right along with you, man, it like, goddamn, I got to take enemy fire and friendly fire at the same time. So people got to understand the devil doesn't care who he uses, in order to afflict, adversities on the elect. All right, so we take the adversities with pleasure, but at the end of the day, it kind of gets overwhelming when we have to go out here in the world and deal with this wicked ass world, and then we have to come home, either deal with, shit from our girl, kids ain't acting right, you got brothers that try to rise up against you, like, read you a scripture and break that down. Like trying to show like they know more than you. Who cares, bro? Because he's not selecting the elect on the amount of knowledge that they have. He's selecting them he's selecting the elect according to their faith, their will and their drive and their courage and their meekness and humbleness. It don't matter who you are. If you're out there on the highways and byways teaching with the brothers, or if you're one of the women at home that has a man that's in the truth, that you're supposed to be walking that walk with him. All right. When he gets home, it's supposed to be a comfort zone. All right. He shouldn't have to fight the same battles that he fights out there in the world when he gets home. All right. Or when you get with his brothers, you shouldn't have to fight the same battle that he's fighting out with other people when he gets with his brothers. It just doesn't make any sense that we have to. We're all on the same team, all fighting the same common enemy. So, you have jealousy and malice and strife that rises up, that creates contention in between individuals that causes these conflicts. But it's not cool, man. It's not cool where you have nowhere to let your guard down. We let our guard down when it's dealing with these scriptures. But it's like, we're supposed to really be able to let our guard down with our brothers, our so-called brothers. If we're both brothers in this truth, man, we have the same common goal and the same common enemy. We're fighting the same common fight with the same battle style. We're using the same weapon. We are using the same weapon right here, the Bible, the scriptures. That's the weapon we're using, man. But it's like you have individuals that, that don't care on who they inflict harm on or pain on, or don't, even when it's their own brother. So I'm just going to bring up a couple scriptures talking about that, man, because it's really getting ridiculous, man. It is really getting ridiculous that we have to take shots not only from the enemy, but it's crazy that we have enemies within this whole thing that we're doing, being in this truth. All right. First scripture I want to get is Acts chapter 9 verse 5. and he said, this is Yahushua talking to Paul when Paul was on the way to Damascus. This is right before he had, converted Paul and taught Paul and gave Paul the knowledge. All right, because Paul was going around persecuting the believers of Yahushua, persecuting the Christians. All right, and we were called Christians starting with the execution of Stephen. When they executed Stephen around that time, that's when they started calling us Christians, and that was a derogatory term. But Paul was persecuting the Jews, the Christian, and Paul was a Jew himself. Paul was persecuting his own brethren. Luckily, the Lord took that spirit away from him, and his whole goal was for all of Israel to be saved. But he was on the way to Damascus, and let me read it. And he said, "Who art thou, O Lord?" And Yahushua said, "I am Yahushua, whom thou persecutest." Now, Yahushua had already been gone up to the heavens. All right, he's already sitting on the throne. He wasn't walking around. So what did he mean by I am him who thou persecutest? Because when you persecute the men of the Lord, you're persecuting the Lord too. Because that's who they're coming in representation of. So when you take shots at true men of the Lord, man, you're really taking shots at the Lord for real. All right? It says, "I am Yahushua whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks." All right, so that's like you taking your shoes and your socks off, and it's a bush full of thorns, and you just kicking it, and you're just kicking it. All right, and eventually you're gonna end up hurting yourself in the long run, man. All right, so it's like we all in this together, and we all have one common goal, and our goal is to get to the kingdom. And that's not kingdom minded when you could literally take shots at your brother and not even realize the affliction that you causing on your brothers. All right. Next scripture is Leviticus 19 and 18. All right, this is Leviticus 19 and 18. "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua." All right, so it's like we're not supposed to. Why are we trying to avenge against our brothers? All right, we're not even talking about the 2/3, because the 2/3 of our people, they're counted as being wicked. They're counted as heathens until they're born into the kingdom. So the ones that are fighting, like getting bruised, butchered, and battered on a daily basis, why do you want to take shots at them? It doesn't make any sense. Why you want to try to make them look bad? You know what I'm saying? When an individual's doing a lesson, why you want to bring out precepts that a young brother that's fresh in the truth, right? We're trying to encourage him to do the work, but with the encouragement that we give them, right? You tear them down by bringing out some scripture that they can't break down. That just tears away from their self-esteem and their self-conscious. They already feel like they're not good enough to do the work, but then you afflict them with some bullshit like that. Try to just what was that movie Drumline, where he knew Nick Cannon was the best drummer on the drum line, but he couldn't read music notes, so he exposed him to make him look bad in front of everybody, just because he wasn't in the spotlight anymore. That's bullshit. You see that shit happening all the time. All right? And a brother bring out a topic or something on the comment board, and people like, "Oh, do a lesson on that." Come on, man. That's bullshit, man. Now, if you really wanted a lesson to be done, you can pull it. Hey, get in the inbox. Like, "Hey, brother, that's some pretty cool information. You mind doing a lesson on that?" You know what I'm saying? Since you good in that area. Not to try to get the person to do a lesson just to see if they know what they talking about or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We need to be too busy trying to show and prove that Christianity, Islam, and all these other perverse, wicked ass doctrines are false or is worth nothing. All right, not to try to prove what our brothers knows. All right, because if our brother doesn't know it, you know what I'm saying, it's our job to edify and help build him on it, not to try to make him look bad in front of everybody. That's not being a brother. That's being wicked. That's slandering. That's the spirit of Esau. Esau does shit like that. Esau puts us in a condition to where we can't even abide by the laws statutes and commandments makes it impossible, then points the finger at us and says, look, God, look at your wicked people. Look how wicked your people are. But the thing about it is, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, knows the hearts of man. All right, so he's going to deal with it accordingly. Next scripture is Matthew 22 and 39. All right, because really it's setting up the kingdom, man. It takes a certain character to be royalty, man. You can't be prideful and be royalty. That's why you lose kingdoms. All right, so any ounce of pride or wickedness or malice that you have, you're not fit for the kingdom, man, because that's how kingdoms fall, from perverseness, from wickedness. That's how they fall down. All right, this is Matthew 22 and 39. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. All right, so you know you wouldn't do that to yourself. So why are you doing the next man like that? All right. The relationship between our brothers, the brothers and us, are supposed to be like how Jonathan and King David was. All right. Matter of fact, let me get it. 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 16. All right, this is 1 Samuel 20 and 16. All right, so the love we're supposed to have for our brother in this truth is like the love that King David and Jonathan had for each other. They said they had the love that he had for each other was more than the love that they had for a woman. Not on no gay shit, but they're just like, yo, this is like bros before hoes type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, matter of fact, Jonathan was willing to rise up and kill his own father for the sake of his friend, because he knew King David was a righteous man and his father was being wicked. All right, this is 1 Samuel 20 and 16. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies. And one of David's enemies was Saul, Jonathan's father, man. And Jonathan caused David to swear again, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Man, Jonathan will risk his life for King David, man. That was the relationship that they had. That's the relationship we're supposed to have as brothers, man. I like to have brothers that around me that know more than me, because that means I can increase. Like the head of our camp, Aharawan, he says, when the Lord increases you, you must learn how to decrease, meaning stay humble. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. When the Lord increases you, you need to learn how to decrease, man. Learn how to stay humble, man. Not rise yourself up and puff yourself up against the next man, bro. And that's supposed to be your brother. Next scripture is Galatians chapter 5. Verse 14. That goes with anybody, man. Anybody, if anybody claiming to be in the truth, and you know other people that are in the truth, bro, don't take no shots at them, man. Don't take your problems out on them, because when you at work or when you out in the world, you have to bite your tongue to avoid confrontation when you at your job. But then when you get around your brothers, you take it out on them because you know you want to make them your punching bag, or vice versa, or you taking it out on your woman. Or the woman taking it out on the man. That's wicked as shit. Like, if y'all don't be circumspect and understand what the devil be doing, the devil don't care who he uses to inflict harm on the elect, man. So if you're a woman trying to make it in this truth, man, and you got a man that's in this truth, you better make the house as much as comfortable as you can. Because really, you supposed to be walking around coupled in fear. Like he is the God that he is that roams the earth. Like he's doing the will of the Father. Matter of fact, Titus. What am I on? Galatians 14, Titus chapter 2. Alright, this is Titus chapter 2, verse 3. Well, I start at 1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, and in charity, in patience. What is charity? Charity means to edify. Charity Charity is to give back to your brother. You know? I just want to look it up real quick. Charity. We're gonna look at I don't even gotta do that voice thing. But alright, affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love feast. That's being charity. Alright? What does it say? Knowledge puffeth up. Because you got a lot of people out here that know a lot in this truth, but knowledge puffeth up. But charity is what edifies, man. You know? And that's what brotherly love is what edifies, man. I love to be around brothers that know more than me. I got like the head of our camp is younger than me. I got some years on this brother, but he's our elder. He's my elder. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. I have no problem coming up under him in the ranks. Shit, really, I have no problem staying in the place that I'm in right now, as long as I know I'm doing the work. I don't need no title. I don't need none of that shit, bro. The only thing I want is the motherfucking kingdom. So if you have any other ulterior motive or goal or being in this truth, get out, leave. If you're not in it for the sake of uplifting Israel, leave. Because you have that slavery mentality when you're trying to bring the ones that are trying to fight from the kingdom when you're taking shots at them. All right, you disrupting what the Most High is trying to do. All right, this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 14. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah. Galatians 5 and 14. For all the laws fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. All right, and that's how we're supposed to love each other, man, as thyself. Let me go back to this Titus real quick to get back to the point. Talking about, you know, all the way around. This goes for the women, everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's making it even harder for us to make it to the kingdom. This is Titus 2 and 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as become holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. See, these elder women are supposed to be teaching these younger women how to be women, like righteous women, all right? That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, all right? To be discreet, chaste keepers of the home, good, obedient to who? To their man. All right, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. All right, so if you're a woman out here acting wicked as fuck, attitudes all the fucking time, you know what I'm saying, bitching and complaining, like what the fuck are you doing? Because you got something that a lot of these women out here don't got, and that's the motherfucking truth. And if you got somebody trying to usher you and walk you into the kingdom, you better hold on to that, because the Most High will take that shit away, and your ass to be out here in the dark like the rest of these women out here, not having no hope, with a missile with your name on it. Like, y'all need to understand, the Most High might not even grant your missile, because that's too quick of a death. The Most High might make you die of starvation. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be, you don't want to get in the way of what the Most High is trying to do, man. And that goes for anybody that's trying to disrupt this order, trying to make anybody that's doing this work look bad. The Most High is gonna judge you on that. All right. I mean, it's bad enough that we got to deal with Esau and these other nations, but damn, we got to do it within our own people too. I get it from the two-thirds. But the problem is, I'm seeing this out of individuals that I don't feel like are the two-thirds. I feel like these are the men of the. It's not up to me to decide, but in my mind, in my heart, I feel like some of these individuals that I see doing these things are part of the elect, but they need to purge that wickedness out of them, man. Cut it off, for the whole body be corrupt. And the Most High won't let that happen. He'll cut you off. All right. This is Romans 13 and 8. Owe no man anything but to love one another. That's the only thing we owe each other, bro. All right. For that he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. You know what I'm saying? So so you're not fulfilling the part of the law that the Most High wants you to fulfill. What? He wants us to abide by the laws to the best of our abilities. But the main key thing is love thy neighbor as thyself and have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. That's the bottom two things. All right. Next scripture is Mark 12 and 33. All right. Mark 12:33, and to love him with all the heart and with all the understanding and with all the soul and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself is more than all whole burnt offerings and sacrifice. So the love that you show to your brothers is worth more than burnt offerings and sacrifice. And we used to use burnt offerings and sacrifice as a peacemaker between us and Yahweh. But he said, if you love your neighbor as thyself, this is worth more than whole burnt offerings and sacrifices, man. All right. So next scripture, man. Next scripture is Ephesians chapter 4. This is Ephesians 4:1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, man. What is that? Let's look up that word, forbearing one another in love. All right. Forbearing means to hold up, to hold oneself erect and firm, to sustain, to bear, to endure. All right, to endure love with each other, man. For real, man. I want to look up that word. Hold on. Let's look up love. What does it mean to love? Let's look up that word. All right, affection, goodwill, love. All right, benevolence, brotherly love. All right, yeah. So that's love, man. All right. All right. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. So you out here, you know what I'm saying? There's one body. There's not like a different sector. Like you part of this truth and I'm on the other part of another truth. So it's not like left Twix and right Twix. They're both the same Twix. This is the same situation. You know? It's one body, man. One hope, one calling, one baptism, right? One Lord, one faith, one baptism. One power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. All right? But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So let me get to another key point. Let me get to 29. All right. This is Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. All right, because even though we're seers, we're also hearers also. Because I know I don't know everything, so that's why I watch my brothers or GMS so I can get edified. That's love. Us putting these scriptures up. That's love. Us putting up these videos. All right, because a brother way in California somewhere can reach me, and he might have some information that I need to help humble my spirit or help heal my spirit. It's all kind of ways. This is love doing this work, man. All right. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. All right. So, man, we ain't supposed to be backbiting or nothing like that. But that which is good to the use of edifying. So if we see something that needs to be reproved, yeah, we do that. But that's good for the use of edifying, right? That it may minister grace unto the hearers. All right, next scripture. Yeah, and I'm almost done. Next scripture is Galatians. Did I already do 6 and 2? No, I didn't. Galatians 6 and 2. All right. This is Galatians 6 and 2, man. All right, let me start at 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such one spirit in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. All right? Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahweh Shai, man. All right? So we're supposed to bear each other's burdens, not try to use see a brother's weaknesses and try to kick him while he's down, man. All right. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. All right. So when you out here trying to rise up over a brother thinking you know more, all right, and then in your mind you probably thinking, yeah, I'm showing him hope so he could be like me. That's not, you know what I'm saying? You don't know how you could be tarnishing this man's self-esteem, his confidence, his faith, because that's really what you're attacking. Right? While you're steady trying to lift this person up, you standing on top of their face, trying to look over the fence to see what's going on. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. That's right. So even though that doesn't mean we just take our burdens and dump it all on our brother and say, hey, you take that, you handle that, I can't deal with that. But nah, we help each other out, but we still have to take our own burdens on, all right? For every man shall share his own burden, all right? Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that's teaching in all good things, all right? Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. So if you out here, like I said, it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of the Most High, man. So if you out here, right, kicking against the pricks, busting shots, sending off friendly fire, you shall reap what you sow, man. All right. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. And that's what you're gonna reap, bro, because guess what? That's not no form of godliness, trying to make your brother look bad or trying to put your brother underneath you, man. That's not a form of godliness, because the Most High really sets up the order. So while you're trying to rise up over your brother, the Most High snatch you out the way just so he could lift that brother up, you know. All right. But he that soweth into the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. All right. All right, so next scripture is Galatians chapter 5 and 25. This is my last scripture. All right, this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 25. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. All right, so having strife and contention with your brother is not walking in the spirit. All right, let us not be desirous of vainglory. Wow. Provoking one another, envying one another. All right. So that's basically sums up this whole lesson right here. All right. So I'm going to read it again. Galatians 5 and 25 to 26. If we live in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, let us also walk in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, because it gets us nowhere but destruction, man. Provoking one another, envying one another. And with that being said, man, you know, stop friendly fire, man. Friendly fire, man. Stop shoot the other way. Shoot at the enemy. Don't shoot at me. All right, don't shoot at your brothers. All right, don't be a lion in your own house. All right, you making your home a hell because you out there working and you getting frustrated with the things that are going on in the world, so you come home and take it out on your whole household. Us as men, we can't be like that. That's not being godly. All right, you women, same thing. You know, men come home after dealing with this fucking bullshit all day to come home to some comfort, not to no bullshit, not to no petty ass dumb shit. With that being said, I want to give all glory and praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and salutation to the Akim that are truly pushing this truth and sincerity in the truth, man. With no type of vainglory in mind, man. Only thing we seek and searching for is the kingdom. All right, shalom.